Okay, it's been a minute since I have basically said or done anything on here, and in that time, so much has happened in regard to some quantum events. That's all I'm going to mention about that. I didn't want to make a video on that because so many people did that, and I'm pretty sure, and when I say pretty sure, I mean guaranteed, they were 100% doing a better job than I probably ever could have done, so I didn't want to talk about that. Today, we're going to talk about something that is probably the most controversial thing that you will hear about gaming this week. And before I get into that, yes, it is in regard to Nintendo. Obviously, you've seen the title of this video. Let's just say, if you like the video, if you agree with me, hit the subscribe button, like button. If you disagree, I don't know why, but you can comment down below and let me know why you disagree with this. Let's get into basically the crux of what I've been seeing. I read a little bit about it, and Nintendo has been treating their employees of a certain colored badge. I believe it's the blue badge. There are two groups, and one group is being treated rather royally, essentially, let's say that, and the other group is being treated abysmally, essentially. There are two groups, and Nintendo, these allegations or an expose is what has come out apparently. Whether or not those allegations are true, we don't know just yet. I'm going to run on the assumption based on those allegations that it is true for the remainder of this video, and it is going to be a very short video for you. Basically, this is the situation. If this is true, Nintendo needs to show everyone that they are going to rectify this. They need to show everybody how they're going to rectify this, and they need to show everyone basically why this has been able to happen and how this has been able to happen. Nintendo, if you aren't aware, is a company that has run on a platform of essentially, I'm going to say, family fun for the last, let's go with 30 years. They have been that company that because of games like Mario. Every Mario game has been fun. Then you've had the Nintendo 64, or even I go with the Super Nintendo, that basically got, partnered, friends, family playing together. Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo was one of those games that I remember wanting to go over to my friends' places to play, and just for reference, I would have probably been about 5 years old, and the console would have been out for a few years when I was 5, and I still wanted to go around to my mates' places and play the Super Nintendo because of Super Mario Kart. It was one of those things. If this is happening, Nintendo needs to rectify this as soon as possible, and they need to basically tell us what's going on, whether this is true, whether it's not true, what the deal is with this. The other thing that I want to bring to attention is this, okay? People are probably going to throw shade at Nintendo, and I want to say rightfully so if it's going on, okay? But we've got to remember this. Before you begin to throw shade at Nintendo, understand one pivotal point, and I think a lot of people might even leave this out. If one employer can do this, that is Nintendo, then I can guarantee you that other employers can do this. That is Sony and Microsoft, for you big gaming buffs. Sega, other big companies out there can definitely do this and can treat different employees with a horrible status. Just treat them abysmally, and it can happen to any and every person in any company, okay? That doesn't matter which company it is. Just because the expose is here for Nintendo now, I'm fairly certain that there's a potential for the exposés to come out for every other company if it's happening. And again, I'm not saying whether or not it is true. Whether or not it is true is something that we will probably find out more about, the expose that's there. I'm going to run again on the assumption that it is true, but that doesn't mean, and this is what I can see happening, that people can throw shade at one company as though their company is better. Because I can definitely see gamers, I know gamers love specific consoles and specific companies over others, especially considering the Nintendo Switch is doing so well. This is one of those things where I can feel the animosity begin to brew up before it has even started. So Nintendo definitely needs to basically say something about this. But just remember that as a fan of one company, that doesn't mean that your company is better than the other. Your console is better than the other, especially, by the way, in a time when almost all games are pretty much available on every console, in every platform. Almost all. I say almost all because there are obviously still some console-specific games, but that does not mean that those companies can't do the same thing or aren't doing the same thing, because we have no real point of reference to know whether or not that's happening, whether there's an expose on Sony next, who knows, or Microsoft even. We have no idea what's going to happen. So the animosity that people probably want to bring up toward Nintendo so that they can feel as though that they're better than the others who support those companies, please don't do that. I know it's going to come, and again, pointing out that this has happened and suggesting that Nintendo at least let us know what's going on and how they intend to rectify it, that's great. Definitely do that and get the attention that it needs. This article needs, this situation needs to be changed, needs to be rectified, needs to be stopped immediately, okay? Especially from a company that is as loved and family friendly as Nintendo is and has been for decades now. That is one thing that I think we need to definitely address. Just for the time being, especially since this is really fresh and it has just come out. This is one of those scenarios where, again, I want people to, if you take anything from this video, please understand this, okay? Just because I like one company and you like another company, it does not make me better than you, and it doesn't make you better than me. If I support one company and we find out that that company has been doing some horrific things over the past few years or past decade or whatnot, then I should be happy to call that out, and you should be happy to call that out. But likewise, if that happens on your end as well, then you should definitely be happy to call that out as well. We need to remember that people are valuable, people are incredible, and people are amazing. And I know this is becoming one of those preachy type of videos, but everybody deserves to be treated fairly and equally, and not treated the way that it seems as though these people who have blue badges at Nintendo have been treated. From what I've heard and read and understood, it's just not right, okay? It's just not right. It's something that we need to change, and hopefully the gaming companies, you're going to take notice of not only what Nintendo has now had exposed, but also what you can do to do better for everyone, and just to reassure everyone that, you're not treating your employees that way, that horribly and that abysmally, because I think that once we start to see the cracks in one company, it is very possible to see the cracks in all the other companies. So before I let you go, if you like this video, you like what I'm saying here, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment down below what you think of all of this, what you think of the Nintendo situation, whether or not you think that this could happen in other companies or is happening. Maybe you know people that work there. I'm not saying that you do know people that work there, but maybe you do. And maybe things like this are happening in other companies. I think that we need to work together, especially as gamers, people who love and support these companies, to bring things like this to the forefront so that these companies can do better. I get it. Everybody wants amazing games. Everybody wants to be entertained. But at what cost? And that's really the crux of this scenario. What cost is it going to take for you to be entertained? Do other people have to suffer so that we can have fun? That's all I really want to say about this. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. And remember that it's
game over, man. It's game over.
Court's adjourned.